Welcome to our culinary journey. Today we're diving headfirst into the delicious world of breads. Bread is the backbone of so many cuisines, a blank canvas for flavor, and frankly, it deserves a Michelin star in its own right. From the tangy depths of sourdough to the pillowy heights of naan, we'll uncover the secrets behind these doughy delights. So, loosen your belts, grab a napkin, and get ready to embark on a bread-tastic journey that will leave you craving carbs like never before. Right, let's get this bread party started with the OG, the Don, the big cheese of the bread world, sourdough. This ain't your average supermarket loaf, no sir. Sourdough's got history, it's got attitude, and it's got a flavor that'll knock your socks off. What gives sourdough its signature tang? It's all about the starter, a fermented mixture of flour and water that's basically a living, breathing thing. This starter, full of wild yeasts and bacteria, is what gives sourdough its complex, slightly sour flavor and that wonderful, chewy texture. Baking with sourdough is a labor of love, but trust me, the results are worth it. That crust, golden brown and crackling, just begging to be torn into. And the inside? A symphony of air pockets and a flavor that's both tangy and comforting. Next up, we're hopping across the pond to France, the land of romance, fine wine, and of course the magnificent baguette. This, my friends, is not just bread, it's an institution. The baguette is all about contrast. You've got that incredible golden brown crust, so crisp it shatters with the slightest touch. And then you break through that crust and discover a soft, pillowy interior, just begging to be slathered with butter or dipped into a steaming bowl of French onion soup. Flour, water, yeast, salt, that's all it takes to create this masterpiece. But don't let the simple ingredients fool you. Baking a perfect baguette is an art form. It's the kind of bread that transports you straight to a Parisian cafe with the aroma of coffee and the sound of accordions in the air. Now, let's talk ciabatta, the Italian stallion of the bread world. This bread is all about texture, with a name that literally means slipper in Italian. Ciabatta is the workhorse of the bread world. It's got the perfect texture for soaking up sauces and juices, making it the ultimate sandwich bread. Whether you're piling it high with prosciutto and mozzarella or stuffing it with roasted vegetables and pesto, ciabatta can handle it all. The secret to ciabatta's incredible texture lies in its high hydration dough. That means more water, which creates larger air pockets during baking, giving it that signature open crumb. This bread demands to be toasted or grilled until it's golden brown and those air pockets are nice and crispy. Next up, we're heading back to Italy for a taste of focaccia, the bread that's practically begging for a drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkle of sea salt. This Italian classic is a staple in many households and bakeries. This bread is all about indulgence, with a flavor that's both rustic and sophisticated. It's a versatile canvas for a variety of toppings and flavors. Focaccia is instantly recognizable thanks to its dimpled surface, the result of being poked with your fingers before baking. These dimples are not just for aesthetics, they serve a delicious purpose. This not only creates those lovely little wells for olive oil and herbs to pool in, enhancing the flavor, but it also gives the bread a unique rustic charm. The texture is both chewy and airy, making each bite a delight. The dough itself is enriched with olive oil, which is key to its rich flavor and moist texture. This gives it a wonderfully soft and flavorful crumb, perfect for soaking up additional oils and toppings. And then there are the toppings. The options are as varied as your imagination, from classic rosemary and sea salt, which add a fragrant and savory touch, to more adventurous combinations like caramelized onions and goat cheese. The possibilities are endless. Each topping brings its own unique flavor profile. Tear off a chunk, dip it in some balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and let the flavors transport you straight to the Italian countryside. It's a simple pleasure that captures the essence of Italian cuisine. Right, let's move on to a bread with a bit more backbone, a bread that's not afraid to stand out from the crowd, rye bread. This is the bread that doesn't just sit quietly on the sidelines, it demands your attention. This ain't no fluffy white loaf, no sir. Rye bread is the heavyweight champion in the world of bread. Rye bread is dense, it's hearty, and it's got a flavor that's as complex as a Dostoevsky novel. Each slice is packed with a rich, robust taste that lingers on your palate. We're talking about a bread with a deep, earthy flavor, a slight tang from the rye flour, and a density that tells you you're dealing with the real deal. It's a bread that makes you feel like you're eating something substantial. This is a bread that's been fueling Eastern Europeans for centuries, and for good reason. It's a staple in many traditional diets, providing both nutrition and satisfaction. It's got substance, it's got character, and it's got the kind of flavor that grows on you with every bite. The more you eat it, the more you appreciate its unique qualities. Rye bread is fantastic on its own, toasted with a smear of butter or topped with smoked salmon and cream cheese. The possibilities are endless, but it also shines in sandwiches, adding a depth of flavor that can stand up to even the most robust fillings. Whether it's piled high with meats, cheeses, or vegetables, rye bread holds its own. Listen up, because we're about to enter the wonderful world of pita bread, the bread that's practically begging to be stuffed full of deliciousness. Pita bread is all about that magical pocket, that fluffy, airy haven just waiting to be filled with all sorts of culinary delights. You can stuff it with falafel and hummus, grilled chicken and veggies, or even just some simple cheese and salad. The possibilities are endless. And the best part? That pocket acts like a built-in edible container, keeping all those delicious fillings right where they belong. Now, some folks might be intimidated by the thought of making their own pita bread. But trust me, it's easier than you think. With a bit of flour, water, yeast, and a hot oven, you'll be churning out perfectly puffed pita pockets in no time. It's like a culinary magic trick, and you're the magician. Right, let's turn up the heat and head over to India for a taste of naan bread, the king of the tandoor oven. Naan is soft, it's pillowy, and it's got a flavor that's both smoky and subtly sweet. Naan is the perfect companion to any Indian curry or stew. It's got this incredible ability to soak up all those flavorful sauces without falling apart, making it the ultimate utensil-free dining experience. Now, traditionally, naan is cooked in a scorching hot tandoor oven, which gives it that signature smoky flavor and those beautiful charred bubbles. But don't worry, you don't need a tandoor oven to enjoy delicious naan at home. A cast iron skillet or even a hot oven will do the trick. Just be prepared to have your taste buds blown away. Listen up, you lot, because we're about to enter the luxurious world of brioche, the bread that's richer than a Saudi prince and twice as decadent. Imagine biting into a cloud made of butter and eggs. Brioche is in a league of its own, a true masterpiece in the world of baking, with a flavor and texture that'll make you want to slap your mama. It's that good. We're talking about a bread so rich, so buttery, so unbelievably tender, it practically melts in your mouth. Each bite is a symphony of flavors and textures. Brioche is the result of adding obscene amounts of butter and eggs to the dough, creating a bread that's as close to pastry as you can get without actually being a pastry. It's a marvel of culinary engineering. Now, some might say brioche is too rich, too decadent, but those people just don't understand. They're probably the same people who order Diet Coke with their double cheeseburger. It's all about balance, right? Brioche is fantastic on its own, a true delight for the senses, toasted and slathered with butter or jam. The perfect start to any morning, but it also shines in both sweet and savory applications. Think French toast, bread pudding, or even a decadent burger bun. Brioche elevates any dish it touches, making it a true royal in the world of bread. Right, let's talk challah, the bread that's as beautiful as it is delicious. Challah is a celebration of flavor and tradition, with a history as rich as its eggy dough. We're talking about a bread that's soft, slightly sweet, and delicately flavored with honey and eggs. It's the kind of bread that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside like a hug from your grandma. And then there's the braiding, a tradition that adds a touch of artistry and elegance to every loaf. Challah is traditionally eaten on Jewish holidays like Rosh Hashanah and Shabbat, but frankly this bread is too good to be confined to special occasions. Challah is fantastic on its own, sliced thick and toasted with a smear of butter or jam. But it also makes a killer French toast, bread pudding, or even breadcrumbs for a crispy chicken cutlet. Alright folks, let's finish this bread journey with a trip down south to the land of grits, gravy, and good old-fashioned southern hospitality. And what better way to experience southern comfort than with a big fat slice of cornbread? Now forget those dry, crumbly cornbread imposters you find in some supermarkets. We're talking about real deal cornbread here, the kind that's moist, slightly sweet, and bursting with corn flavor. It's the kind of bread that makes you want to lick the plate clean and then go back for seconds. Cornbread is the perfect side dish for any southern meal. It's got this incredible ability to soak up the flavors of everything it touches, from collard greens and black-eyed peas to fried chicken and barbecue ribs. And don't even get me started on cornbread stuffing. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of the bread world, from the tangy depths of sourdough to the sweet embrace of challah. Thanks for joining us on this bread-tastic journey. I hope you're inspired to get out there and try some new breads. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more delicious content. Until next time, happy baking.